Hello everybody, today we're going to take a look at the difference between a standard batten and a weatherproof batten. Okay, now both of these of course are batten lights or fluorescent batten lights, LED batten lights or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so these are type of light fittings, okay, that are very common throughout the world. Okay, and I thought I'd show you the difference between the standard and the weatherproof. Alright, so let's take a look. So this black one that we have here, this is my black light batten. You probably won't remember this one. This is a standard batten, and this one here is a Davis. Okay, both of these are made by Davis, by the way. This is a weatherproof batten. Okay, so what's the difference? Well, technically the difference would be application. The standard batten, which this would be more for indoor use. This one, the weatherproof one, is more for outdoor use. Okay. The construction of the battens. This one here is all metal. The chassis is all made of metal. This one here, the chassis is made of polypropylene, I believe, or some sort of plastic. It's pretty hard plastic. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's polypropylene or polymer. I don't know. It's even got a diffuser, which I think is acrylic. Okay, this is a bare batten. These standard battens you can get in bare, diffused, or wire guard, but this is just a bare batten. This one here, it's diffused only. So that's that one. They're both the same length. They're both 60 centimeter, but you can get them in different lengths. The switch. We'll take a look at the switches. This one's got a standard switch on it, which is just a architrave switch. This one's got this little flick switch, which has a waterproof grommet around it. This one here, the cord is removable. This one, it's fixed. Okay. I even have a little cable gland on there to keep the cord on, and that's actually IP66 rated. This whole thing's IP66 rated. It's also got an IK10 rating too. This one here is not. This one here has not got an IP rating. I don't know what the IK rating would be, but it's just a standard batten. So we'll turn them this way. Now we'll take a look at the back. So this is the back of the battens. In the standard one, there's holes. Okay, you can see that we have holes everywhere. This hole is where you put your cable in through the back. Okay, and these other holes are for mounting it to the ceiling, and we got these little plastic feet on it. This one here, we don't have any holes. Okay, you actually have to drill them. Okay, so if you're going to mount this, you need to drill 2 holes, then you have to drill another hole in the back for the cable to go in. Okay. Alright, so that's that one. With the weatherproof batten, the diffuser is held on by these 3 stainless steel clips around the chassis of the unit, of the fitting. This one here, that's usually held on by 2 end caps that would screw on the sides. Okay, there'll be 2 end caps that will clip on the side of these, and then the diffuser or wire guard is held in place with those. This batten here is watertight. This one isn't. Okay. On the ends we got a metal hole there, a metal plate. This one has a rubber plug. Okay, that plugs it off. With this one here, the only part that's metal is just the plate. Okay, so the plate inside is metal, as where the rest of it's all polypropylene or acrylic. This thing here, the whole thing is metal, so it's got a whole metal chassis. So that's the difference between the design. Now, the weatherproof batten is good for outdoor use. The reason being is because it is airtight and it's watertight. So that means that no moisture or anything like that can get inside of it. Okay, because if you were to use this batten out here, which I have seen technically on older places, what happens is moisture gets into them and it can cause the chassis to rust. Okay, and I've actually seen a lot of these where they have rusted, where they have started rusting away, okay, because of that. Okay, but nowadays we just use these outside. All the lights on the outside of my house are weatherproof, okay, because these particular battens here will not rust away, okay. They're very good for the outdoor use, okay, because they have the watertight and airtight seal, okay, which is all around the chassis, so no water can get into it. Okay, that's especially important if you're running LED lamps, because LED lamps need to be kept dry. Okay, because they're not waterproof. Okay, so that's why if you're using LED tubes outside, you need to. They suggest you use a weatherproof batten. Okay, to keep the tube okay. But now, if you're inside, you use this batten. Okay, because when you're inside your building or your house, there's no moisture that can get in that can get into the building. So this would be the batten that you'd use inside. Okay, so this is more for indoor use. Okay, now depending on what area you are inside the building, now these weatherproof battens are also used in cool rooms and fridges. Okay, and they're also used in areas where you might get steam or anything like that. The reason these are good for cool rooms is because they're designed because they can handle the cold. Okay, so these ones here probably wouldn't, if the batten would freeze, and also the LED would probably malfunction. That's where if you have one of these in there, it's all right. Okay, that's why I see these used in a lot of butcher shops and stuff like that, because they're very good for that particular circumstance. Okay, these particular weatherproof battens you will find out in outdoor areas such as car parks, barbecues, maybe even some camping sites or caravan parks. You'll see they have these all on the outside. On the inside, they'll have these standard ones. Okay, so these are single battens, but you can get them in double and triple as well. You can get them in various calibers to suit your needs. These are T8 LED. You can also get them in T5 LED as well. Well, of course, nowadays everything's all going LED, so this is technically what you'll see in these nowadays. Back in the old days, there would have been fluorescent tubes, okay, but now they're LED tubes. You can still get fluorescent, but it's old technology, so you're better off just buying an LED batten, okay. Both of these, another thing I should point out is they both have concealed starters. Okay, the two screws there is where the starter receptacle is mounted. This one here, the starter receptacle sits on the back of the plate, and it sits up inside the chassis, so it sits right about there. So that means to replace the starter for the LED tube or fluorescent tube, you actually have to open the batten up. So you undo these two screws, and the plate will lift up, and then you can change the starter. For this one here, you just undo the 6 stainless steel clips, take the diffuser up, you rotate these two parts, then you lift the plate up, okay, and by what I do, you need to loosen this so the lead can go through, and then this will lift up, and then you can change the starter, okay. On some of the old street lights actually had that, some of the old Fergis and Zodiacs, okay, which were weatherproof battens, and they had the concealed starters, okay. Some fluorescent battens will have a starter coming in through the front of the plate or through the side of the chassis. Okay, that's because, now the reason these don't have board through is because these were actually electronic when I got them, but I converted them to, this one I converted to magnetic, this one I just converted to LED only, so there's no ballast in that one, this one has a ballast. Okay, and I even had to put the sticker on there, so if it's an LED only batten, you'll see they'll have a sticker on there to let people know that's for LED only, you can't use fluorescent on it. Okay, both the tubes, these are type A LED tubes is what they're called, okay. So that's technically what it is. Okay, on the other side of the battens, there's technically nothing. It's just a blank side. Okay, other than this one, which has the two screws for the starter receptacle. Okay, so that's technically all there is, the difference between standard and weatherproof battens. So if you're inside, you'd use the standard batten, but if you're outside or in an area where it gets wet with moisture or steam, the weatherproof batten is what you need. Okay, so there you go. So that's technically the difference between weatherproof and non-weatherproof battens. So I hope you enjoyed, and that'll be it.